All right. So, uh, Workstream update from me, and then next I will open up to the committee. We have the Rush here. Um, Sam unfortunately can't join, but we can discuss about anything that come up to the Rush from
Yeah.
technical. So, Workstream update first on QA and infra. I will be right now. I'm working primarily on simulators, making a product draft to work with the open source. I will be working with Paul and Sam to figure out more detail before we share with the community and do the code review.
Yeah.
Part of that is a code review from Social Cashier. We'll collaborate closely with them on that, but want us to get a clear understanding on what should be, then get a feedback from community, make some update, and then we can go on and do more code review slash change on that work on
Okay.
simulation. And I will be chatting more with Sam on some detail about integration tests. Maybe we need to break down the task a little bit more and see if we can ask our community to come in and help on some task. Right now, it's still like kind of a one big task. That's why the core team has to will have to help us. I want to see if there's something that we can like break it out and then ask the community to help us with that. So things keep moving. So those
Yeah.
are my pri oh, and the third task is I would like to start as to think about before it's part of the QA and infra is to use API as to drive the development. And what I mean is I want to spend time, Paul, that I haven't talked much with you. It's like I have been thinking, but I want to us to audit all the API snippet work related to PISP work stream.
Yeah. Sorry, can
And
you explain what you mean? I don't get it.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Yeah, so what happened right now, we have two source of API. We
Yeah.
have the one in snippet and then we have the one in service. And
Right.
now when people develop, they have to do at both place. And now things actually out of sync. And now it become like, wait, which one is a sort of truth? Are we
Oh,
use
how did they get to be out of sync? I don't understand.
Yeah, because I think when at first we want to quickly set up the service, we duplicate
Yeah.
the YAML file.
Yeah.
We host our own YAML file in the PISP.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then
Right. Right.
things start to slowly itching away. You know what I mean? And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we catch it early enough that I think it will not be too bad. And then I'm so grateful from Shui. He's not here. Or they're not here. But they have helped me like audit and I want to go through it with you because it's not little.
No.
And in addition to there are two sort of truth they're also slightly different from the document, the markdown document in the
Oh
SIG
dear.
doc. So back to the point is I want us to use API to drive our development. And what that means is the API need to be locked down, essentially. It
Yeah.
has to be like no one touching it. Like all the open source, we do the implementation, the API are complete. It's
Yes, I was under the impression that the API had already been locked down. So,
it's been locked down, but we need to audit to make sure that it is
yeah.
slightly off. Um, they're like say when I say off, it's not like big massive endpoint, but like say we misspell something.
Right. Right.
We
Okay. Yeah.
like it's just this little thing that you like when you implement it, it's like it propagate really quickly.
Yeah.
So that is another task, but I don't want I saw what started it and we need to audit it.
Yeah.
And there also a work around uh FSP, IOP, and ISO work. I'm not understand that yet, but I talked with Paul Baker. He mentioned about, oh yeah, we were trying to be a comply to ISO standard, and some part is
Yeah.
not, and so I'm kind of confused. I'm not gonna lie, and but I was like, okay,
Okay.
let
Well,
me
I
meet
mean,
with yeah
the
with
PISP
everyone.
IOP is obviously proprietary. or specific to Moduloop. Um,
Okay. Yep.
Whereas we have a lot of adopters who are being required by their regulatory authority to use
Yeah.
ISO
Yeah.
222.
Yeah.
So much of the interface, well, I thought all of the FSP IOP APIs had been matched with ISO 222 messaging. So you could choose whichever you wanted to use. Um, and I can check with Michael Richards. Michael has led the ISO 222 adaptation, so I can check with him on PISP.
Yeah, yeah, that would be awesome. What last time I checked with asked Paul Baker about it because when I was reading the spec part, not the document, the spec, which is when I say spec, I mean the open API spec. There are like two file, and I was like, I was really confused. I was like, why there is like a two file going on? And yeah, if you could check with Michael, Richard, and stuff was like what are we doing there and so forth, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Uh,
Yeah. So that's kind of a three main part from me, from my uh from my end. And probably before I will open up to the community, but I would love to hammer out some logistic with you like near the
yeah,
end of the
sure, we
meeting.
can do that. Just
Yeah.
one thing on ISO 222.
Yeah.
Um, are you familiar with the standard at all?
I will be honest, I am not. I'm
Fine.
actually just got myself a book to read from the ISO book. They yeah. I'm reading it out.
The problem with ISO 222
Yeah.
is it's not a standard of payments messages. It's a standard for defining standards, really.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, I
Um,
thought this is set up for messaging. That
well, yeah, sort of, but each industry then has to define its own schema within that, which is applicable to their particular requirements. Hence, it's
oh,
more a standard about standards. And there are payments industry standards within ISO 222.
got
Um,
it.
However, they are
Mm,
um, tailored to conventional banking and
mm,
conventional card payments, etc.
mm,
So we
mm,
have defined our own schema within that for IIPS,
mm,
and we have submitted it for adoption by the payments expert group within ISO 222.
mm,
And we are confident it will be accepted, but at the
mm.
moment it is only a draft schema or standard.
Got it.
So,
I kind of want to understand the backstory here a little bit, Paul.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why do we have to? What is specific about our payment that we have to kind of have our own schema compared to the banking, like the typical one?
Um, all of the features of Mojaloop that make
Yeah.
Mojaloop unique are not
Mm.
covered in existing payment schema. Um,
Mm.
for example, end-to-end assurance of the payment, for example. The discovery process isn't part of ISO 222. Mind you, we're not using it for ISO 222 anyway. The quoting service is not part of ISO 222. So
Oh, wow.
we
Mm.
there are not many extensions we need, but we
But
need
there's some, yeah.
extensions.
Yeah. That's the coding API is a pretty core service part of Mozilla too, right? Like
Yeah,
that one. Yeah,
yeah,
I see.
yeah, it is.
Got it.
So,
Oh wow.
so
Yeah,
that's the context. So
I see. So to summarize, like we are submitting our own standard to be part of ISO, and right now it's kind of in the
it's,
draft.
we're not doing it. We're not doing it without any discussion. We've been in discussion with the ISO 222
Yeah. Yeah.
committee for a number of years,
Wow.
and
Okay.
and we do attend, or Michael attends a lot of their meetings.
Got it. Got it. I see.
Uh, but that doesn't mean that they will automatically accept our extensions.
Hmm. Hmm. And okay, yeah. So, but is that extension completely like I look at some of the standard, it look quite different from the FSP IOP. So it's that essentially will maintain two set of kind of
Yeah,
API. One is for yeah,
there's been a lot of discussion about that.
yeah.
And we are told by the market all the time that ISO 222 is the way forward. But for example,
Yeah.
Liberia has gone
Yep.
live and they
Yep.
told us they were going to use ISO 222, but we
Yeah.
just recently discovered they're using FSP IOP. So,
Oh,
so I
got
don't
it.
know where that leaves us really.
Yeah, that sounds like we will be maintaining FSP IOP for foreseeable future to me.
I think
But
so. Yeah.
yeah, okay, sound great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It it for one customer, quote unquote, for one party to use one API set is it mean that everyone is available. Is I don't think it's gonna be okay. So
Mm.
sound like a plan. Yep. Yeah, I would love to get more understanding on that and just so that as we try to um make sure that the API part of the PISP are sorted out before we start more again redo the implementation of the API. I think that will help everyone like get an understanding and make the implementation easier.
Yeah.
And yeah, cool. Thanks so much, Paul. And I will open it up to Devaraj if you want to share how is the progress and any issue?
Hi, Paul.
I
So, uh, I have cloned the repository and understood the architecture, created the subdirectory for, for the project we need, for Helm charts we need. Uh,
Uh,
Also deployed all the Helm charts which are required, the dependent Helm charts. So, not such progress as such. I'm working on it, yes.
so you yeah your work is to get the PSP into the Hampshire deployment and
Yes.
I think I may our signal may cut off. Can you what how was the progress? Like do you run any blocker or issue that I know Sam is not here, but um I will be meeting with him. I will join the core team later on and I can pass any question to FYI. So
Oh, so no blockers from my side. I'm
okay,
yet to work on it.
okay. So cool. Is there any particular thing that you foresee that may need some some guideline or any confusion, the rush that we should discuss?
Uh, no confusion, but I was researching about to get some context that why are we doing this? Means why we are deploying PASP to Helm charts.
Yep.
So didn't get the 100% correct answer from the cloud, the AI engine. But yeah, I'm curious about that. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that part I can answer. So Um, for the hem repo is where the whole module loop service deploy, right? So like deploy as in like people who adopt module loop can go and get the the container, the Docker image of the implementation, like central ledger, I think that's like account lookup or some they call it Oracle, account Oracle and so forth and so on. Like bunch of microservices all in module loop can be it's described as a Docker and it's you if you look it into Docker, you can actually download different image of the service. So image like this is kind of a binary, right? Where you can get it down, you run the program. Right now,
mm,
the PISP is like completely like if you want a PISP, you have to do GitHub. You have to get the source code, compile the thing, and deploy
True.
to use it, right? Like if you are a central bank or say like in this case Aditya, you just join like he want to use it for testing and all different purposes. Like cannot use it at all. Like I mean you can like you get a source code and you compile it and then you can host it, but it's not really ergonomic for adopter to use the service. So by adding PISP into this Helm chart repo, we
Mm.
we allow people to just like grab the Docker, the already compiled binary, if you imagine that. And not only that, is actually would pull in all the necessary like dependency, right? Say, I believe for example, PISP depend on account lookup service. It
Mhm.
will pull in as well. If you I remember you remember like you talk to the central service share and to get an
Yes.
endpoint. Yes, those actually need to depend behind the scene is an account lookup, right? Like it's some database that store like, hey, this account, here's an endpoint. Like those kind of services has to come down with PISP to work. So
Mm.
your work is really critical. Like whatever we do in GitHub, like if we don't have a Hemshot repo, we will not be able to deploy it. We need to
Mm.
wrap it
Mm.
into a Docker, in a container. We just happen to use Docker in a container so that people who want to adopt PISP or deploy, like, whether it's like a third party, the FSP or the hub, they can just load down the binary and then they just plug it in and then it work. That's the part about the deployment that you work on. And the
Okay, okay.
reason behind, yeah. Yeah. It's
Okay, so basically, they
yeah.
will just help install command and uh, all the necessary equipments will load and they will be able to experience a nice user experience.
Yes, the PISP, yeah, they can use the service, yeah. And Hemchart,
Mm.
for what I will not be I will have to say this out. I'm not an expert in Hemchart deployment nor the Kubernetes, which is
Yes, yes.
um but the Hemchart is a package management for Kubernetes again. So
Okay.
it's kind of it essentially what it is register PISP into the Kubernetes kind of ecosystem. It's like, hey, PISP exists. Here is us. And if you want us, you can download this package. And but someone and that what you do in a Helm chart is you describe what the package look like. Here is like the dependency. Here is like, I don't remember like how the network. I think there's a network part of it, like how the network are set up, which port, which revert proxy, and so forth and so on. Because we are microservice, so those has to be set up. Can you like imagine like everyone who want to use PISP has to do this themselves? Like we're not gonna the adopter will have such a hard time, and it's just a duplicate work because everyone kind of have a standard set up. So does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, so do keep us update on how you do, and you have both Sam and me Slack, so feel free to ping us. I know it's like a lot of I take a look and there can be quite a confusion into like, network and all those kind of stuff. So don't hesitate to reach out and ask for sure.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you very much for that. I
yeah,
will reach out.
yeah.
Aditya,
Aditayo,
you joined.
Hi Paul. Hello
Hello.
Yui.
hello.
Yeah, I saw the message a bit late,
Yeah,
but
I'm
I'm
sorry.
hoping
I'm
the
sorry it was so late.
no, it's okay. Once the calendar invite has been updated, I would just ensure to forward to Paul Sai as well, just so that he can also join from within the engineering team,
Yeah,
considering
sure.
his time zone is more favorable compared to the guys in Mexico.
Yeah. Do I have his contact details? Or does you?
Possible?
I can share that. That's no problem.
Yeah, please share it because I'm not sure I know that. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pass that across.
Yeah.
Is he on the localization? Sorry, the PISP workstream Slack channel.
I would confirm that. I know Daniel is on the Slack channel. I'll confirm that and just get him added if he's currently not added. But
Yeah,
he's on the he's gotten the localization work stream recurring invite now, and he's also on the Slack channel for that one.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
To tell you, want to give you a quick update on the work through that uh just to from the code review, so you don't have to go rewatch the whole thing. Uh, Before you join, we just draft out. And I want to apologize. We should have do this ahead, and right now we kind of do it a little bit in a retro, uh, but in related to the PR that you and your team submit, and I think it's start to get us. We go back to a little bit of drawing board, I would say, like to draft out like a little bit more uh kind of some sort of a understanding between all of us of like, hey, like this is kind of a behavior we are thinking, and I want to update you that we are working on that draft. We have a draft within the team, and we want to share with you and your team for a feedback when it in the state where it is ready to be shared for feedback. So that's just so that we don't like, have you get all looped up into the like there may be some iteration that may have to happen inside
Okay.
within the core team, and once
Okay.
we are ready, and then we will share you for feedback, and you can tell us like, hey, and then we can go back and look at the code review it a little bit backward. That's why I want to apologize first.
It's
The
okay. It's
yeah,
okay, Yui.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
and the reason that it need to be done so that as much as we have the code, the part I think is somewhat missing in my opinion, and Paul, if you disagree or different opinion, we feel free, is that we have to kind of go back to the kind of how exactly the adopter will use the simulator, like less of the engineering technical, more about like what is the user experience, like
Mm.
what case we want to support, like like integration tests we want to support end to end. How would they what kind of like test case we want to be able to support people, like are we gonna have X, Y, and Z, those kind of detail. And I think that's the part that we want to lock it down first, and then we can do a code review and see like, okay, we need to make this adjustment and that adjustment. Is how that I want to share that with you, and then yeah,
Yeah, thank you for that, Yui.
yeah.
Usability is non-negotiable. Do you have indicative timelines when this outline can
Draft,
be read?
yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah.
draft. Yeah.
I'm working at as I okay, this is my goal. Okay.
Okay.
I would like to have it like sometime next week in the stage where we can start to like we and by the way, I want to be clear when I say to send it to you, it's not mean like it's a final and you like that's not the point. It's like kind of to get your feedback. That part
Yeah.
I hope to have it sometime next week.
Okay.
Uh, Intentionally keep it vague because I want to I don't want to I want to get like the understanding lock in and
All
then we
right.
can add more ingredient and feedback and yeah.
Yeah.
But probably I'm hoping have to have it done by Tuesday
All right,
or
great. I
Wednesday.
think that's fair.
Yeah.
We can work with that. No
Yeah.
need to apologize, Yui. I think what matters the most is to have output that is of significant usability. So trust me, there's really no need to
I
feel bad about
appreciate
it. Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. You know, I understand as a dev, like you put out work and it's like it does put work. So again, I do not take it lightly that we have to kind of redo this. Hopefully, like going forward, we will before my goal is to have the issue like more hammering out in detail. I know originally the issue are kind of high level, and I think we are learning how to create a good issue so we all have a same understanding before the work started. And maybe it will be a little bit more work ahead, an overhead work to get that understanding locked in. But I think it will help us so going forward. But thank you for the understanding, detail.
My pleasure. Paul, just to confirm, are we expecting the recording for this session on the Slack channel?
Yes, I'll
All
upload
right,
it.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's super helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Hi,
think.
Devash.
Hi, Rita. How are you?
Yui, is there anything else we need to discuss now?
No, we are done in terms of community part from the work stream. Feel free to drop off, or if you want to hang, it's not like Paul and I want to discuss about some logistic or like setting up the meeting and all those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So feel free
Um,
to stay, feel free to leave.
Okay, all right.
I can just
Just
set up the meeting if you want, and I can try and set you as an alternate host, Yui.
Yeah, yeah, and my goal is like we just have to have a calendar and then share with the
Yeah,
community and
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
okay.
Okay.
Yui, I'm just mindful that the conversation
Mm,
you want to have with Paul, I'm not sure you want it on the recording, so maybe you want to do a separate call for
Yeah,
that.
I can just set up another call.
Okay, all
okay,
right, great.
cool. Awesome.
All right,
Thank you.
all right.
Thanks so much,
Thank you, everyone.
Aditya. Yeah,
Okay,
All
thanks
right.
thanks
everyone.
everyone.
Yeah, thank
Bye.
you very much. Yeah,
Bye.
all right. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.